Hello Cancer and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for all you Cancers. That's Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising, and I've been told to say cusp as well. So if you are at one end of your Cancer sign, closer to Gemini, on the cusp of Gemini, or if you're on the cusp of Leo, you may want to check those readings out that I'm doing as well. Also, you may want to check out your astrological link, your natal link for your astrology, which is in the description box down below. That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. There will be a link for a free natal chart in the description box down below. If you've watched my videos before, you will know that because I say it every time and it is automatically there. So, Cancer. This is something that I'm doing for the Gemini season, for the retrograde Venus energy that we have at the moment. There's a lot of activity in Gemini. We've just had the new moon in Gemini. We've got the sun. We've had Mercury in Gemini. Venus is in Gemini. So there's a lot going on in Gemini. And of course, the moon's nodes recently moved into Gemini as well. So it's all kind of taking place in Gemini at this time. Which is a bit like a breath of fresh air in many ways, because we've had a lot of kind of heavy energy for quite some time, so things are kind of lifting a little bit as well. So what I'm doing is I am picking or pulling one card, shuffling and waiting for whatever comes out. From this deck of cards, I've taken all the cup cards out because they relate to the love energy. So I want to see what the overall energy for the reading is. And today, Cancer, you've got the 5 here of cups, which is an energy of feeling like you've been left out in the cold. Feeling like there's just despair. There's a sense of, if you look here, these 3 cups here, which were all about celebrating something, are all knocked over. There is these 2 cups here which are still left standing, but she's not looking at them. Her eyes are shut. She's looking away. And she's cloaked as well. She's cloaked herself. She doesn't want to be seen. She doesn't want to be she doesn't want to be involved at this time, I feel. And this could either be yourself, Cancer, or it could be somebody else. Also, before I forget, cross-watchers. This reading could also relate to your energy as well. This could be your story. Also, if you're watching for a Cancer that you're in a relationship with, you're interested in, or you have had a relationship with, just be aware this energy could be your own story here. So the 5 of Cups to me is about despair. It's despondency. It's this kind of energy of something has happened that has changed whatever it was that you had in this relationship. This is after. This is the energy of after something. So for some of you, this may be a situation where something has come to an end. For others of you, this could be something where you're in the stages of something coming to an end. But this is kind of that moment of realization. In many ways, it's kind of it is that moment of where the relationship kind of falls apart, shall we say. It's a bit like a tower, like a mini tower moment is how I see this card here. A mini tower. Things being swept away. Things no longer having the same emotional attachment. Things being like one person leaving the situation. For some of you, there could be a situation where one person said, I'm not going to take those because they were in a previous reading. So I'm going to give them a really good shuffle before I accept any of these cards. But there is just this overall kind of air of despair, and also of not knowing what to do next. Where do you go from here? Do you walk away from this? Do you try and rebuild on it? But at this moment in time, it's like it's too soon. It's too painful. And there we have that Tower I was just talking about in reverse. The Tower moment. And Tower energy was actually in reverse, which is saying to me that it's something that could have happened a while back, but you're still feeling in that same energy. This is an energy that hasn't resolved itself. This is an energy that you're still kind of remembering. You're still focused. Your attention is very much on that moment. It could be something that's happened quite recently, but I'm feeling more that this is more of a past energy. So we have the Six of Wands. I'm just going to lay these down. We have the Six of Wands as the crossing energy here. So somebody has left this situation. And somebody again is cloaked. Somebody here, if you see this energy here, she's wearing a cloak, and it's the same thing here. She's wearing this cloak here. So this kind of talks to me of somebody who's not ready to emotionally expose themselves at all. They're kind of, it's a protection. This cloak, they're wearing it as a protection. It's an emotional protection here. And this person here is kind of trying to balance up as they leave this situation, this Six of Swords, as they leave this in their past and move to more calm waters, more serene energy, a future, and a kind of movement into their future, which is the crossing energy here, Cancer. So this is something that you are kind of needing to do, to move beyond this and balance your energy up here, because at this moment in time you're still very focused on this Tower. This Tower is still affecting you. You're still feeling very like thrown out. But the Tower moment can also be an enlightening moment. It can be a kind of aha moment. It can be a moment of suddenly realizing, like a realization moment, which I was talking about again with this Five of Cups here. But with the Sun in your head and what you're aware of here, this Sun energy, it's kind of saying that you're waiting. I feel as though you're waiting for the cycle of things, of time. But as you're waiting, you're getting more clarity about the situation, about things the way they have been, and why things happened the way they happened. Because there is this kind of these planets here, and this is all the astrology here as well. So it kind of talks to me about the cycles of time and how things have to work within the divine time. That everything happens for a reason, even though we may not like it. But the Sun kind of saying to me that there is, you do feel as though there is a successful, or you're beginning to feel more lighter about this situation. You're beginning to kind of have some clarity on it and some insight, and feeling that you made the right call with this Tower moment, because I feel that maybe you brought in this Tower moment as well. Let's see, sorry about this, dive under the table, card down here. So this is all the energy that's coming in. There are a lot of cards here. A lot of cards. Okay, so we have what's been in your past, but what's moving away. We have the Knight of Pentacles here as well, which means that you have been slowly, like a tortoise, slowly moving towards your goal, your aim, your desire. You're building something for yourself very slowly here, Cancer. This is the past energy. This is the energy that you've been working with, but it's the energy that's moving away. And it kind of says to me that this is about you finding your stability again after this Tower moment here, even though you're still very focused on this Tower moment. And you are still needing to kind of find those calmer waters. And maybe even throw this cloak off as well somehow. I feel as though it's kind of, it's keeping you, from showing your true self, from expressing your true self. That you've been kind of hiding your sunshine as well, in a way, hiding your inner joy, your inner happiness, you've kind of been keeping it very undercover. But you have been working on something more practical, more stability, and I get the feeling this is kind of you building yourself back up here, Cancer. That you have been kind of slowly grounding yourself again, slowly getting back on your feet, slowly kind of taking those steps. But what's underneath this and in your subconscious energy here, we have the Four of Swords in reverse. Which kind of for me is again this kind of Tower moment. The Four is all about kind of taking time out and non-action. But when it's in reverse, it's kind of saying to me that because of these swords here, it's almost like you feel as though you kind of impaled yourself on this, that this situation just kind of, you didn't see it coming. You didn't see it coming. But in a way, you also had to bring that Tower in. Because the Tower, even though it kind of feels as though it comes from an outside influence, it's actually us that is needing to kind of bring this energy in and to break down the structure, because the Tower is about the structures that we build around ourselves. So this was an energy, I feel, of restriction, of you maybe even trying to fit into something that you didn't actually fit into, Cancer. And you needed to break free from it. You needed to get out of it. You couldn't stay in that place. You couldn't stay in that energy. It wasn't right for you. You needed to release yourself from it. But in doing so, because this is your subconscious, this is you kind of, like I was saying, impaling yourself, like throwing yourself out of the Tower, literally. And we have a whole stack of cards here, which is the energy that's moving in. And we have the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is always an interesting energy because, like all the tens, it's a coming to end of something. And again, it's that kind of upside down impaling yourself on something, but I also get a feeling that you kind of dodged a bullet here as well, Cancer. There's a feeling of like, you know, these had it been up that way, all these swords would have been kind of pointing down at you, but as it is, they're not. But again, it's kind of like you dropping on them rather than them dropping on you. So it's kind of saying, is this a choice that you keep making? Do you keep putting yourself in these situations? Or have you now decided that enough is enough and you're not doing it anymore? Because you've got the Two of Swords here as well, which is in the upright position, which is saying that you are aware that there's a decision here. This is the energy that's moving in. You've also got the Hermit in reverse. So this is about you going deeply within yourself. But I also feel that maybe, because this is energy that's moving in and it's also in reverse, this could be you kind of needing to come out of this energy. Like I was saying, this cloaked energy. It's kind of like you've gone through a lot and you've kind of reached a stage of kind of graduation, if you like, but you're not prepared to come out. You're not ready. It's like being in your shell, literally. That's what I'm kind of feeling for you, Cancer. It's kind of like I'm in my shell and this is where I'm staying because this is where I'm safest. I'm not coming out. I'm not going to experience anything. You have the Strength card here as well. So there is a situation here of you kind of, again, balancing. And the strength, I just get this feeling that you feel strong within yourself. Like you have reached a point within yourself of knowing your inner strength. Because this isn't so much about outer strength. This isn't about you showing your strength outwardly. This is about you knowing that you have the strength to cope with situations. Should this arise in your life again, you can deal with it. You know you've been there, you've felt it. You've had that deep, like with this Four of Swords here, these Three Swords here for me always remind me of that Three of Swords energy. Literally somebody who's just come out of that Three of Swords energy. They've been through that pain, that suffering, that heartache. And then you have the King of Cups energy as well, but this is in reverse too. So I feel like it's saying, not quite sure how to say this, but it's almost like wallowing. That's what I'm kind of picking up here, Cancer. Don't shoot the messenger. This is just what I'm feeling, is this kind of energy of you just kind of staying in the same emotional state and not wanting to move beyond it. And it is a feeling of kind of like, you know, with this Tower here, that you just kind of can't allow yourself to get beyond that. Because I feel as though it really has had quite a big effect, especially since we've got the Devil energy coming out at the end here as well, which is temptation. It's also possibly to do with this King of Cups energy as well, of kind of some of you looking for answers within, say, drink or drugs or kind of escapism. This King can also be escapism, especially when he's in reverse. So this could be you kind of looking for ways to escape your inner demons as well. Cancer. There was a lot of cards that came out for that particular space. So let's see what the other person is thinking, Cancer, in your life. What is this other person not only thinking, but what are they feeling? What are they going through? What is it that this other person, who Cancer has a connection with on some level, What is it they are feeling? What is the other person feeling here for Cancer? What is the energy of this other person for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, rising? What is the energy here, please, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus and rising? And I just say while I'm shuffling, please could you like up my video, thumbs it up for me, because it helps to get it out into the bigger YouTube world where more people can see it, and possibly hopefully come back to my channel. So we've got 3 cards come out here. Interesting. Okay, we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So I feel as though this person has tried. They've tried communicating with you. They've tried, yeah, they've tried communicating. They've tried to kind of seek some kind of response from you. But because it's in reverse, I feel as though it's kind of just not gone anywhere. It just feels to me like, you know, like these little puffs of wind, of kind of communication, these little bursts of communication, like you'll kind of respond, but then it just goes silent again. And you may also see this person, Cancer, as being quite quite childish, quite immature, but they may also see you that way as well, Cancer. So it could be either way around here. But with this sword here as well, particularly as it's kind of upside down, I just get the feeling that these kind of, if you think of them like balloons, it's kind of like this communication, kind of blowing up a balloon and then it kind of pops. And when it pops, it's kind of like dead air, like there's nothing. And this person also has the 10 of Wands in reverse here as well. So it feels as though they got to a point where they had exhausted themselves. They'd kind of reached the point of, like, you know, no more ideas. Don't know how else to deal with this. It was oppressive. It was bringing this person down. It was making them feel as though they were, like, constantly. It was in their head, because all this flames here is around this person's head. So for me, it's kind of all these ideas of how do I communicate with Cancer? How do I keep this going? How can I kind of keep some form of connection here with Cancer? But the Knight of Wands, which is up the right way, is saying to me that this person has kind of given up now, because it's gone from the 10 to the Knight. So this person's kind of decided that they're going to look elsewhere. They're going to look, they're going to leave that situation behind, and they're going to take their creative idea or their creativity, their kind of fire, their drive, their passion, whatever it was, Cancer, that this person felt for you, which is, I feel, what this flame here is about. Whatever they felt for you, which was very strong at one point, because look how much flame there is there in that card. Look how much, like, all those flames setting their own heads on fire with it all, because it was kind of all-consuming passion and desire. And with this Devil here, you could also feel the same way as well, Cancer. You could also have this overwhelming desire and passion for this person, but you also may not know how to control it. But this person has kind of decided that they're going to take that flame and they're going to do something else with it. They're not staying. they're moving on, Cancer. Or at least that's what they're wanting to do. Okay, so we've got the King of Swords and the King of Wands. With this energy here, of this kind of clarity, and you kind of realizing that everything happens for a reason, divine timing. We have this person with the King of Wands and the King of Swords. So again, I feel that this person with this King of Wands, they're both upright. So I feel as though this person is looking for new horizons. They're looking for something that's going to feed their need for adventure, and they're very clear about it. They're very clear. They're very kind of like, okay, so Cancer doesn't want me anymore. I'm going to go and find something. I just get this feeling of finding something else that's going to bring them a sense of peace, maybe. The King of Swords, I always get the feeling of a kind of sense of like solidness with this energy, like almost like statue, like somebody who's very kind of like a statue is very what am I trying to get here, or what am I getting that I'm kind of having difficulty expressing here? Almost like a feeling of like a statue, if it was alive in a way, would kind of like would see a lot of things, but it may not communicate them. But there's a drive and a passion here, but there's also a very kind of strong intellect. It's like two halves, two different sides of this person, even maybe Cancer. And they may be showing both sides as well, or maybe they have shown this side, this kind of driving passion, but now they've become much more intellect, much more, I'm feeling much more kind of less easygoing, less open, less, because this energy is very open, it's very kind of like gregarious, it's very friendly, it's very it's kind of on the surface energy in a way. It's the energy of the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, so it's very kind of out there energy. But I also feel as though they've got two sides to this person. Cancer, this energy here is also very it can be very closed off, it can be very sharp, it can be very, and I feel as though this is kind of where this person's getting to with you. They're kind of getting to a point where they're just not wanting to show you any warmth or any kindness or any, it's all just very, if there is any communication, then it's all very matter of fact. It's all very like, this is how it is, bang, and that's it. It's like there's no, it's not open for discussion. It could also be that this person is kind of looking for possibly just having fun. Maybe they have got two people in mind. But they're wanting also a sense of fairness and balance and harmony, as well as fun, enjoying life, I feel. But this person just wants to enjoy life again. So, the Knight of Pentacles. How does this person feel? Well, they all kind of flipped out and didn't have a lot of choice with that. So we have the Judgment card. So this person has made a judgment call. Cancer, whoever you're dealing with here. They've made a judgment call and they're laying it to rest. They're putting things to bed. Well, they have done, because this is the past. And now they're kind of moving ahead. Fast. They're in the driving seat here. They've taken back the reins of their life and they are moving it forward. They have the World in reverse, so they may feel as though you're missing in their life as well, Cancer. I'm not saying that they're not still in love with you, because this card in reverse talks about an imbalance, kind of something missing. If you look here, there's a kind of androgynous character in the center there, somebody who reflects both the masculine and the feminine energies. So it is kind of about balancing up both those sides of ourselves, but this person may also feel as though they've missed out on something here. But it's also about an ending of a cycle and the beginning of something else, and they may feel as though they're moving forward, but they're doing it with a kind of reluctance, even though they are in the driving seat and they do know that they've got to lay something to bed, like to rest and push forward. They also have the Knight of Pentacles, but this time it's in reverse. So again, after this World card here as well, I feel as though it's a reluctance. They are kind of not really wanting to go forward. They're wanting to... They keep looking back. That's what I'm feeling. They keep looking back to see if you're coming. They keep looking back, Cancer, to see, is Cancer there? Is Cancer coming in? And we have this Knight of Cups energy, which is kind of your energy, Cancer. Water energy. Pisces, Scorpio energy. Sensitive, caring, loving. And he's holding this cup in his hand. So this is the other person, Cancer. They are looking for emotional fulfillment. They are looking to give this cup to somebody else. They are kind of, although they keep looking back to see if you're coming, they do kind of now, they are kind of focusing forward as well. They kind of reached that point where they know that they've got to look forward, because Cancer is not forthcoming. I'm not taking them, it's far too many cards. So the Four of Swords, okay. So many cards. Hermit in reverse again. So this is the subconscious. This person has also been in a hermit stage. They've also gone through growth and learning process, which again, because it's in reverse, they may have felt they didn't really want to be in this stage, or they may have gone through this kind of without knowing that this was what was happening, that they were going through this hermit energy of like a butterfly coming out of a chrysalis. The Knight of Swords energy is saying that there has been a lot of thought process here. A lot of thought process. The Knight of Swords is all about the mind, it's the thinking, it's the kind of backwards and forwards energy in many ways of the twins, of the Gemini energy, of this way or that way, always a duality, always the possibility of something else. You may have thought as well that this person was quite fickle, Cancer, that they couldn't settle on anything, they couldn't make their mind up about anything. Also, the Seven of Pentacles here in reverse, saying to me that there was an offer given or made, but it didn't work out. It hasn't worked out. It may not have been, it may have been accepted, and maybe that's why the Tower energy came in as well. But this person also has the Four of Wands there, and the Four of Wands in this deck is all about taking up a challenge. It's about foundation. It's about, if you see this boat here, this boat coming in, it's like this person's not sure whether or not it is the right boat. Really, that's what it's saying for me here. And this is all happening over the top of this Four of Swords energy here for yourself, Cancer. So this person wasn't completely convinced, maybe, that that was their boat, that you were their right boat. There was, I feel, a lot of kind of confusion or a sense of I feel with this Seven of Pentacles and this Knight of Swords and this Hermit energy, that with this Four of Swords, Four of Wands here, that this is this person kind of starting out something new. Because it is about a challenge. It's about a challenge that kind of, you know, am I going to take this up? Am I going to ignore it? Am I going to let that boat go? Am I going to get on it? Am I going to stay here on this shore and just carry on with my life the way it is? So the boat can even represent the relationship itself as well. And this person was not 100% certain that this was what they should be doing. There was a lot of soul searching with this Hermit energy here. A lot of, like with this card here, this dilemma, something being offered that this person didn't know. But the energy that's moving in here, Cancer, is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is a very powerful new energy. Again, it can talk about sexuality. Again, it can talk about something that somebody is desiring. And you have this Devil energy here at the end of this. But I feel that this person is kind of focusing on their, because they've got the world in their hand as well, it's kind of this person is focusing very much on their own beginning, this new start. This person is having a new start. They're creating something from scratch, even, from the very beginning of something. Cancer. Something new for them, something passionate, something has got them or is going to get them fired up. This Ace of Wands is a kind of fired up energy. Oh, that's bizarre because this has just come out twice. This came out for the reading that I just did for Gemini as well. And this energy is kind of saying, what do you need to release, Cancer? So this is about the waning moon. This is about something coming to a close. This is something about when the moon wanes, it gets smaller. So it's a shrinking process. It's like this is something that's kind of losing its light. I'm going to pull another one for that because that one came out quite suddenly. And also, like I said, that came out for the other reading. So you might want to go and look at that other reading as well, Cancer, because you may find that that is also connected to you, especially if you are cusp, Cancer, Gemini. So we have 2 more that have come out. It says, hold your vision. Hold your vision with a fixed moon. And don't let pride get in your way. So that's the Leo energy as well. So some of you Cancers may also be on the cusp of Leo energy as well. Or you may have some strong Leo placements. So you may also want to check out that. But the fixed moon is the signs of Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. They're all fixed signs. So you may also be dealing with one of those signs, Cancer, a Taurus, a Leo, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius. But it's saying hold your vision. So whatever it is that your vision is, whatever it is that you are wanting to do with your life, you need to focus on that as well. Whatever that vision that you have, Cancer, in your head at this time, whatever it is that you're kind of thinking about, hold that vision. And don't let pride get in your way. So basically it's saying don't let pride hold you back. Don't let it stop you. And that's what I'm feeling with this energy here of this kind of taking this cloak off. Like you're not prepared to take this cloak off. You're not prepared to kind of show yourself or reveal who you are at this time. So I'm just going to pull some of these reflection cards for you as well, Cancer. I'm not sure if this video is going to come out with my head keep disappearing. A little bit on the high side. I don't normally have it at this angle at all. Okay, so what have we got? We've got accept your destiny, whatever that may be. So many of you have been taught that desire is wrong. Desire has always been part of your journey. Now your desire becomes complete with your unison light. That's interesting. Adjust your attitude to one of willingness, totally lacking in fear, so that you can really open to the new energy. I don't know if you can read them or not. As long as you are open to the truth is there for you. Your trust in oneness is what makes you complete. Do the work that is your destiny. You can never go backward. There is only one direction, and that is forward into light. Maybe that's also what this Sun card is saying here as well, that you need to move into the light, and maybe you're aware of that because it's what's in your head. Planets and stars do not stay the same. Planets change and move. Energies shift. You are living in extraordinary times. And that kind of relates to this card as well, with all these planets and things shifting and changing. Things don't ever stay the same, particularly when it comes to astrology. Concentrate on today. All is one time, all is one breath. You know, a lot of these come out here, Cancer. You can and you will be complete within yourselves by knowing and touching your light force within. And lastly, all consciousness on this planet are helping in the final transmutation of the dark forces. Know that. Know you are all part of the great cosmic dance. So some interesting cards to finish your reading on there, Cancer. I would just like to say thank you very much to anybody who has subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please could you do so. Also thumbs it up, like I said earlier. Gets it out into the bigger YouTube world, and then more people can see it. Hopefully more people will come back and look at my other videos as well. Also, could you tap that bell to get future videos as well? I do new moons, I do full moons. I have just done the Gemini new moon video as well, both the astrology and the tarot. I do intuitive tarot and intuitive astrology, so it may not be what you're used to because it is coming from a like slightly or completely different angle of things. So you may want to go and have a look at them as well. And Cancer, I'm going to wish you all the best and say I hope that this has been of some help to you, and if you feel that anybody else out there may benefit from it, please share. Take care, Cancer.